Welcome back. This is the Weekend Report. I'm Masechaba Mposwa. Actress Samkelo Ndlovu, who played the role of Die Minkies on Adulting Season 3, a street-smart, no-nonsense and tough girl who'd go to lengths to get what she wants. Now, she became a villain among audiences after she kills her boyfriend in the actual series. So while Ndlovu played a range of characters in film and television, this one made her most unpopular, with fans cyberbullying her since the series finale. And she joins us now to tell us more about this. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Thank you, Masechaba. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. Firstly, let's start here. Tell us about your character that you portray that has created this hoo-ha.
So the character I play in this beautiful show, penned by Patuchezo Makwarela and Gideon Bainan, which I already think is such a beautiful piece on social commentary, is a character of a firebrand. It's a girl that loves too hard. She feels too hard. She's a bit of an extremist. She's not evil. She's not a villain. She's more of an anti-hero in that she isn't an antagonist, but she also does not have the characteristics of a hero. She kind of is just living day by day. She's very charming, street smart. She can pretty much fit into any space you put her into, in those, black spaces, in those township spaces. And she's somebody that I never thought I would play before.
Why is that?
I don't know. For one, I didn't think that someone would pen her. I didn't know if people really wanted to hear about her story, how she became how she is, what are the reasons that make her the way that she is. And secondly, I didn't think they would imagine me playing it. You know, when they penned it. They penned it and they held castings, and I heard they couldn't find her, and then I was called and they said, well, there she is. So she's different than any girl I've played before. I mean, I've played a siren before, I've played a vixen before, I've played a township girl before, but not so much with this much extremity, with this much passion. She's such a passionate girl that whatever she touches, she swears by anything she is and has, that it must turn to gold.
And I'd love to talk a little bit about that sort of extremist kind of character, because this character has created a lot of problems in your life currently. You have, spoken about being cyberbullied. You've had to actually deactivate your account.
Look, Masechaba, I've always been very, very deliberate in the way that I engage online. I understand the power of social media and the power of being able to engage with my fans. My fans love me.
Definitely.
People love me. And this cyberbullying isn't like 90% of the comments. It's a fair 14. And so I'm also the same girl who deactivated her Twitter a couple of years ago and never felt the need to come back. So this wasn't me being dramatic. It's actually consistent with me. It's quite on brand with me and my personality. I do not stay in spaces that are misaligned. And once I feel that way, I give myself the permission to leave. And so for me to do that meant that I needed to give people some space.
Or to give yourself space from the people.
I
think this is such an important conversation, because people are so often so attached to social media that it becomes your entire identity. Right? Which is why you're seeing headlines and you're on the news. It's news that you deactivated because it's abnormal in our society. What are some of the most vicious comments that you experienced that were targeted at you because of this role?
I think probably being called Satan is probably the worst one. And I'm South African. I understand our cadence and the way that we are. Sometimes we don't, even in our compliments, we don't always say things direct. We don't always say, hey, umuhle yazi. Sometimes we go, hey, uyasibulala phela sikwenzeni siyaxolisa.
Awubahembisi.
You know what I mean? How your foot is on our neck. So I understand the way that we speak and the way that we give our compliments, that it's not always so direct, but don't call me Satan, baby girl.
I understand.
Yeah, that's just weird. And also because, you know, part of being an actor requires a lot of compassion, because the characters we're given, we have to look at them with compassion and not judgment. And so because I have so much compassion, my shrink always says, there you go, diagnosing yourself again. I'm always looking ahead and going, hey, this person who wrote this comment, if I go to this profile, if I open this person's profile, I might feel sad for them, because I'm like, why are you the way that you are? And then I make it up in my head because I'm an actress.
Yeah.
I have a wild imagination. I do that for a living. Mm-hmm. And I imagine all the things that could have gotten you where you are, where you felt that sitting behind a phone, nameless, faceless, and spewing such words to essentially a stranger, what got you there?
Mm. I'm so happy to hear you talk about having a shrink. At what point did you realize you needed one, and how important is mental health management for you?
I'll answer the first question first. I first got a shrink. I must have been in my early 20s or mid 20s. Oh, it must have been when my frontal lobe fully developed, and I realized, hey, what are all these choices I've been making? I need to.
Yeah.
But that's around the time I think I'll say 25, 26.
So it's been a while.
It has been a while. I mean, I'm 35, turning 36.
You've been wise for a while.
Yes, and she's an amazing woman. I always say she saved my life. She really did. And mental health is extremely important for somebody in my field of work. Not only the practice itself of acting, but everything around it. Mm-hmm. The public scrutiny, the public demands of outside you're relevant, or why are you like you're not dressed right. I'm just trying to be very pop culture about this, and that has its own emotional constraints on stars, on musicians, on actors, anybody who's in the public eye.
Because you're a human being.
Because I'm a human being. And mental health in my actual field of work, at my job, is ultra important. I am a masterful actor. I'm a thinking actor. And so because of that, I constantly think of emotional hygiene in every choice and step that I make. And so I make sure that playing this girl, even though I almost went crazy with anxiety playing Minky, because she's such a fireball of a million different things that I had to use about 3 acting methods just to get her right. Mm-hmm. That alone can send you down a spiral. Mm-hmm. So I take care of myself in that way, and I walk away from stuff that doesn't serve me, which is why I said in the beginning of the show, it wasn't dramatic of me to leave. It's on brand. I've left Twitter before.
And in brief, because we do have to wrap, what message do you have for people out there who may not understand the difference between a character and a real life person?
I don't know what I could say. All I could say is that I enjoy playing for you. I enjoy showing you reflections of you. I enjoy allowing story to allow you to look inward with yourself and really ask yourself, what is it that's, you know, when you react so violently to the death of a fictional character on TV, I think it's worth asking yourself, what unresolved wounds is this kind of putting salt on in my world? And I think from there we can move forward. But for now, I enjoy playing for you, and I love you know, telling your stories. I just think we need to have responsible storytelling and be able to consume art responsibly.
We'll have to leave it right there. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Masechaba. Mm-hmm.